And good evening, good evening, good evening. Everywhere, everyone, all over the planet and wherever else you happen to be. Mars, the moon. Here on Earth, it's a very comfortable 7 p.m. on Friday evening on August the 1st. And we're here for another ProSynth Network. See, ProSynth Network? See, look at all this. All the brandings there. You may have noticed that I don't look a lot like Robbie, and that's because Robbie's got an evening off, and we're spending time with his lovely missus, and so we're going to be running the good ship PSN instead tonight. We've got quite a lot actually tonight to talk about, so it's going to be a lot of fun. The weather here at the moment is a bit sticky, and it's quite nice. It's 7 p.m. here. It's 11 a.m. on the west coast of the Americas. I think it's 1 p.m. or no, 2 p.m. on the East Coast, and it's around about 8 p.m. in Central Europe. There, we've killed a load of time just giving out times and things. So yes, welcome. Thank you for joining us. It's good to see you all. We've got a lot coming on here, but I think one of the things we need to do, aside from wishing Robbie a fantastic evening off, is to perhaps just go through all the things that we normally go, the housekeeping, as it were. Now, I haven't got my brush with me. Oh, yeah, I do. Look, here we go. So I'm just going to... There we go. That's some of the housekeeping done. And the rest of it is to cover these kinds of things. So, you're now here in the show, and what we would love you to do, as you're watching us, is to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Liking helps, especially if you like doing the show. So do like us, and if you can, subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, why not? And welcome. Subscribe again. Or if you're watching us after we've done the show, then welcome in the future. I hope it was. Has anything good happened? What was it? Was it good? Hoverboards being invented? It's difficult to know, isn't it? And do comment, make lots of comments. And if whilst you're commenting, you would care to ask a question, just put a great big Q in front of your of any questions you have, and we'll try and get it picked up. Or rather, if we don't, then our wonderful mods will. I believe Mr. Brooks, Andy Brooks, is in the chat today. We haven't seen you for a while, Andy. I hope you're well. And we occasionally have Andy's synth head in here, synth addict rather. Can't see him at the moment, but he may be in. And Ben from Musines, again, not seen him, but hopefully he'll be in. So yeah, just a big queue if you've got any questions, and we'll do our best to answer those as they come up. And talking of shows and answering questions, the question for you: have you subscribed? Have you? Because it would really help. This show costs a lot of money to actually keep the thing running. Now we'll do it anyway. We're not in this for the money. Certainly, I'm not. And it just costs a lot to keep these things going. So we have all sorts of subscription fees for this, for StreamYard and various other things, and Robbie going off to do shows and us participating in other shows. So your help is really good. Now for Patreon, the really good news is for a couple of quid or dollars or euros a month, you get to view all sorts of exclusive content, videos, short videos made by all sorts of people, myself included, Robbie, various different people, some exclusive content on there, and you get access to a whole range of just brilliant sound banks that people have donated. Sound banks by people like James Dyson, Mark Barnes, Scotty, who's going to be in here with us shortly, I'm sure. So there's all sorts of people. There's real value in actually subscribing to Patreon. It helps, keep the show ticking along. And if you don't want to do it here, you can do it on Facebook, not Facebook, on YouTube, of course. And all the special offers and things and early releases we do, including all the Synthspirations, by the way. All the Synthspirations are also on Patreon and on the YouTube. If you subscribe to YouTube, you get to see all of those wonderful things that people have done. And whilst we're talking of Synthspirations, guys, gals, droids, send your Synthspirations in, please. We love seeing them, and it's really it's really cool to hear about, what's inspired you to do this mad thing we do, which is buying and collecting lots of synths and making noises with them, bleeps and weeps and wheelie beeps. So do send us some in. We could do with some more, and we love hearing from you. And I think most of you like seeing the inspirations as well. So do that. Don't forget, we're on YouTube, Facebook, Blue Sky. Someone's eating in the background. And we're going to get you in the naughty book, Mr. Jervis.
It's not me, it's eating.
Yeah. Let's just mute you for a minute then, you little badger. Right, so yes, YouTube, Facebook, Blue Sky, Twitch, Instagram, Threads, and TikTok, of course. So the only other thing really to talk about here is, making money and doing things and supporting the channel. There is another way you can do that, which is you can do this. You can visit ProSynth Network, fourthwall.com. This is the merch. Now, I know we never mention the merch. Robbie hardly ever mentions the merch. But just in case you weren't aware, look at this. This is just nuts. We've got lots of merch. Now, the thing is, there's lots of really cool bits and pieces on here. There's the Justin Havu tank top. Frankie says, Frankie say watch ProSynth Network, the wonderful bottle, one of your water bottle, one of which is, I think Kent's got one to hand, and there's one on a tram going around, I think it's Frankfurt or Hamburg or somewhere, since Robbie was last there. I think Scott is looking forward to getting his vibrant ProSynth Network bikini set. That's as far as I understand it. There's candles, there's everything, mouse mats, all sorts of things. And the really good news, I've got these trousers, they're fantastic. The really good news about all of this is that it helps support the channel. It helps, we get a tiny amount, or we get a certain amount from each sale. It's not massive, but it all adds up, and it helps keep the wheels on this particular wagon. And I think that's about enough housekeeping. I think I've managed to cover about 10 minutes there, which is extraordinary. So rather than me blithering on endlessly, which I'm good at, can someone A, send cake, and B, perhaps we ought to hear from someone else. I would love to know what a certain Mr. Kent Spong has been up to. Evening, Kent, how are you?
Good.
That's a lot from you.
Yeah, I know. So, yeah, I'm good.
How's your week been? What have you been up to?
All sorts. Well, no, I say all sorts. Mostly sleeping and contemplating my navel.
Have you managed to get over your acid reflux thing yet?
It seems to be under control. Fingers crossed.
That's good. It's unusual for someone, in their mid to late 20s to get acid reflux so badly. So,
as far as I understand, yes. Unfortunately, yeah. I'm not anywhere near any of that. so which probably explains it. Yes. Probably. Yeah. So, yes, my ancientness is catching up with me.
And did I see something about you're working on a 2500?
Oh no, that's Ben's Memtune video.
Right, and we'll come to that.
Yeah, he's always got that picture of that 2500 that I restored because he bought that, and it was a bag of bolts basically.
Bag of bolts.
Yeah, literally. I mean, it couldn't not work any more than it wasn't. So,
but since you've had it, it is.
Yeah, it took months to get that thing up and kicking.
Absolutely gorgeous. Yeah. Absolutely gorgeous.
So, yeah, all good. Ticking over. The Mac Studio has been an absolute arse, as usual, for one reason or another. So.
I've been hearing a lot of people have been having problems with both Mac and Windows in the last couple of weeks, with lots of apps sort of playing up, doing silly things, not quite sure why. But perhaps one of our other guests, which, let's just see, do you think we ought to let him in?
Why not?
Why not? There he is.
Hello.
Echo.
Scott, how are you doing? Oh, let me get rid of that. There we go. Okay.
What's that?
I'm hearing...
I'm good. Thank you very much.
I'm hearing an echo here. That's very bad.
Oh, you're getting an echo.
From you.
All right, okay, 2 seconds. Right, my monitors are muted. Let me see what's going on.
One of the cheap effects.
Yeah.
Could have
Hello?
been a
Is it going now?
phaser.
Well, we're having a lot of audio issues with you. Shall I just mute your mic for the moment?
Yeah, let me check it out and I'll see what's going on. Okay.
Righty-ho. So I'll just, at the moment, Jason, who is going to join us, has disappeared. Don't know where he is at the moment.
Chasing cats.
This is the classic beginning to a classic show. Let's just bring the three of us up. Scott's looking up my bottom there. What was all that about?
He's a wannabe proctologist. Know that.
He's looking at yours now. So, yeah. So listen, whilst we're here, something which did occur to me, we've actually got some news items whilst we're waiting for Jason to join us, for young Jason to join us, as it were. It's probably worth mentioning, let me just bring this up, that it's 1st of August, and it's Friday the 1st of August, which means, guess what, gentlemen? It means, boom, Bandcamp Friday. Yeah. So there's a lot of people on here who, and elsewhere, who use Bandcamp as a repository, as somewhere to display their wares and to get their music in front of people. And to be honest, Bandcamp isn't the worst out there. In fact, it's pretty good. It's the best of of quite a lot of the things out there for selling music as an artist. And they do this thing sort of 3-4 times a year where they do a Friday where during that day, and today's one of them, everything that's sold, every single thing that's sold, if you buy an artist's album or their merch or whatever, all of that revenue goes directly to the artist, which is freaking brilliant. So Bandcamp Friday, I just love this idea. I've always loved it. I do tend to try and find some lovely music that people have got up there from people I know and support them by buying. Now, do you do any of this buying on Bandcamp Friday, Kent?
No, I tend to buy it when I find out about it. I was never really actually aware of Bandcamp Friday, to be honest, until you just mentioned it.
We mention it about once every 3 months, so I'll be having words with your accountant. I was looking over there
probably. Yeah, no, no. Honestly, I didn't really know about it. So, no, if there's somebody's music comes out and it's available, I go cool. I'm all in for support all the time.
And that's a good thing. So I wonder if Scott's working yet. No, are you going to nod your head when you're working? You're not working. It's down at the moment. Okay, well, guess who is here? So we're going to add Mr. Jason Jervis.
Yeah.
Good evening.
There you are. Good evening. How are you?
Well, clearly out in the garden, enjoying the last moments of the day, because I've been in doing lots of stuff around the house. So I figured that why should I stay inside? I brought the cat treats out here. I brought the cat. And of course, just as you're about to introduce me, Tom jumps on the laptop, throws everything everywhere. So manages to turn the laptop off as well and unplug the webcam. And it's just been a bit of a mess. So yeah, it took a little while to get back, but it's good to be out.
How's your week? I mean, it's great to see you outdoors. And it's it's quite a nice view. Yeah, how's your week been?
Yeah, it's been good. Visited relations in North Wales, so I've had a bit of a gentle week. Started, of course, with the EMOM in Stafford on Saturday, which was chance to sort of catch up with people like Simon Greatbatch, Andy and Grace, and Movement 81, and meet some new people as well. So that was really good fun. And yeah, what a way to start the week. And I then jammed in my gym jams in my mum's garden on Sunday. Which was fun too, and back for Wednesdays synth show. So it's been one of those, and trying to sort of get through the mountains of laundry that children sort of somehow sort of accumulate in the space of a couple of days. So yeah. But
so
it's great weather for it. It's great weather for laundry.
So I mean, what I was mentioning that we have Bandcamp Friday today, and it's one of those things that I think it's really good to support. You is this?
Oh, it is.
Do you release on Bandcamp? What's your take on all of this?
Love it, but I haven't released any music yet. But I would absolutely do it on Bandcamp, and especially considering that today, 100% of your purchases goes directly to the artist. So if you're on the fence thinking, I'm going to buy Andy from Synchrotron's latest, today is the day. He gets 100%. AD Vision, do that. Boo, battery powered operated orchestra, get theirs. Get everybody's. Just buy from everyone today. Blow your wages on music.
Blow your wad.
Blow your wad. Your wedge.
Blow your wad. By
the way, Cardiac's released a new single.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which is an album they were working on before Tim Smith's untimely demise, unfortunately, passed away. But he was working on an album. They toured in 2007. I saw them twice. Actually, the second time I saw them was with Gaz. I drove to Cardiff and back. But yeah, they were working on an album, and that's being released in September. So the first single from that album is released on Bandcamp today. So that's in my basket already. So definitely a good day to buy music.
Well, it's a good thing. I'm just wondering whether or not Scott.
I think we're back.
We got words.
Good.
Yes. Yeah,
we are back, but you seem to be out of sync.
Hello.
Oh, there we go.
Better now?
Yes. Much better.
Yeah,
much
let's
better.
try this without you knocking stuff over. Tom wants to say hello, and he says he wants to say sorry.
What a backdrop, Jason. That is ace.
Isn't it just?
Yeah.
Thank you. That's my garden. It needs a bit of work, but I do absolutely love having this as a place. And there's obviously Jackson can show up at any point, but yeah, I've been enjoying playing music out here. Say it. Look at how gorgeous he is.
You gorgeous thing, you.
Get off me, Dad.
Get off me. So listen, we haven't done this with you yet, Scott, because we had some technical issues there.
Not half.
Good evening, welcome.
Good evening.
Has the rest of your week been that troublesome?
No, and it's sod's law. It's just typical that it was happening just as I was away to come in here, and all my audio seemed to go to one side. It was all coming out my right hand speaker for some reason, and I just give the computer a reboot and all's good. It was just StreamYard got a little bit confused because I'd had my sound cards off and things, so it wasn't sure what was going on. So I think that's what the echo was, but I've got it resolved now, thankfully. So all good.
I think we've all experienced that multiple times on shows. Literally, just as we're about to go in, something goes bang, and you have to just do a complete reboot to get it sorted. But anyway, put that to one side. Exactly. How's your week been, gorgeous?
It's been good. It's been very good. Busy away again. I'm still working on the OBX8 just now. Not so much musically. I've done a few little things musically this week, but mostly it's been trying to get this OBX8 bank finished and get that one out, which I would imagine should be by Monday, I think. So.
Oh, really? It's that close?
Yeah. I'm about 96% through or something like that now. So we're getting there.
That's really good, and we always look forward to your wonderful libraries.
Thank you very much. But apart from that, the weather has still been good up here. It's been one of the best summers I think we've seen up here. And again tomorrow, it's supposed to be absolutely cooking hot again tomorrow. So, that's very good.
That's very cool. So let's bring us all in now. Here we are. We're all here now. So listen, we were just talking about Bandcamp because it's Bandcamp Friday today, 1st of August. They do this like 3-4 times a year, where on the day for today for 24 hours, a full 24 hours, anything that's bought, all of the revenue goes directly to the artist. What's your take on that? Do you use Bandcamp? Do you ever buy stuff from there?
I don't. I don't even have my own Bandcamp page, to be honest. But it's something that I think it was Robbie mentioned it he says you should maybe start putting your stuff up there, because any time I was releasing before, it was just through labels. But yeah, I've kind of steered away from the labels now and not released anything for a long time. So it's maybe the way to go is just sort of set up my own little Bandcamp and let it out to the masses that way, you know. But that's a great idea, the Bandcamp Friday thing, where all the revenue goes to the artists. That is fantastic. There's not many streaming platforms would do that, or artist platforms.
And there's some there's some fabulous artists out there as well.
Yes, there
really are. Perhaps we ought to do a PSN release of some sort at some point on Bandcamp.
It might be a nice
little
work.
I don't know.
For a little sort of spotlight on a couple of artists. That might be quite a nice thing to do. Because we've got a lot of great musicians in the community.
Yeah, or do some sort of collaboration and then release that.
That would be fun.
Yeah,
we might actually get to hear Kent properly live, real for once. Yeah, great, Wonka. Get your album out.
Album.
Yeah, well, quite. So get the soundtrack out for all the movies that have. Yes, and all that stuff. So look, that was Bandcamp. Yeah, so it's Bandcamp Friday. I heartily ask you all, or encourage you all, implore you all, if you haven't already, get along to Bandcamp, check out some of the bands on there, check out your favourite artists. A lot of them are on there, and the really good news is, especially for smaller acts, it really matters. They get 100% of the revenue from anything that's sold on Bandcamp today. There's another one coming up. I think it's September the 5th. They're doing another one. I can't work out if this is monthly or every 3 months or whatever, but I'm sure someone in the chats will tell us at some point, which will be really good. Right, so we've kind of done that, and I feel like I've swoggled away. Who'd like some news?
Oh, okay.
I'm just wondering, because we've got some stuff that we could show. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's start with. Would you like a freebie something? Anyone? Freebie?
Yeah. As long as it's got chocolate.
Oh yeah, as long as it's got chocolate.
Oh.
So launched today. We have. Ten. There we go. Massive X player as freeware, and it's so NI have put together. They've updated Massive the plugin. They now call it Massive X. It's had a whole heap of new functionality, and they're releasing it free, absolutely free. You can get the player. Absolutely free, and it's still got a lot of controls on there. You can buy there's a paid for version as well, but this is a big thing, and there's a lot of content for it already. I think it ships with 60 or so presets, but it's a brilliant plugin, and it's something which I know a lot of people in the past were using this in the noughties in the 2010s and all that kind of stuff for a load of dance music and other such things. Have any of you ever used Massive?
Yeah, yeah, I have.
Yeah.
Fantastic! It's a seriously powerful synth, that one.
Yeah,
it really is. Yeah,
massive in the sort of like Skrillex. He was massive on using that in the sort of, is it dubstep or whatever the hell you call it. Yeah, Skrillex used it to absolute death. It's such a powerful synth.
Yeah. And is it something which you would, I just think a freebie like this, because it is such a, now it's a play, this is the player. This isn't the full-blown thing, as far as I understand, but it's free and there's a lot of banks available for it. Is that something, because it's a new version, is that something you might be tempted by?
Yeah, absolutely. I've got the old Massive. I don't have the Massive X, so I might give that a go just to see how it is.
Yeah, I think the full version is something like 99 quid. There we go. So the full version, $99 or thereabouts. So it's 50% off. Where are you, young Jervis? You seemed quite keen on this.
Yeah,
used
I mean,
it before?
I'm not massive on software, as you know, but I think this is probably the last iteration of the complete that I had Massive X in it. I think that came out in 2019, so it must be around that sort of time. That would have been early days with Toman for me. So I think that was just it's nice to have a synthesizer in software that isn't an emulation of an old vintage hardware. So Pigments and Massive, I've definitely got their space, I think, in my library, of sounds. So yeah, so for that money, I mean, they've proved the concept, haven't they, with the sampler sort of. So with Contact, it works. You buy it, you get given it for free, and then you buy the sounds, and then that makes the best of both worlds. So I think
It does.
Yeah.
It does. I mean, I think it's a madly good piece of software. I remember using it years and years ago. I've not really looked at it. It was around for a good long while. From the early sort of 210s and whatever onwards, a lot of people were using it back then, and I remember that that a lot of puties weren't that good at running it. It was quite CPU intensive. Do you remember?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
And Kent, is this something which you've ever sort of thought
No,
about?
I've used it. Not in particularly in anger as such, but I messed around with it. I think I got it with Complete as well. I mean, well, look, as you know, the only dance music I do is waltzes, so this isn't, it doesn't really fit in. Blue Danube with Super Saw. Yeah, it's worth a try, isn't it? But yeah, I've used it for like certain effects and stuff like that. That sort of thing as well. So not necessarily use it in its original concept idea of how you would use it. Sort of using it in a sort of like a backwards kind of way. But yeah, it's been fine.
I mean, it does, and it does look like an absolute beast. They've done a lot. Again, it's another company that's cleaning up the interfaces and making them more.
Yeah, the GUI looks way better than what it did before. That's for sure.
Definitely agree.
Yeah, it really does.
I like that flat approach to GUIs as well. And not trying to sort of cover it up with too much, exciting graphic design. It's literally those are the modules. That's the synth. Get on with it.
Yeah.
I think it is pretty simple as far as that goes, but it belies just how madly good it is and how powerful it is. So yeah, I think it's a great thing. I'm just wondering, is anyone in the chat? How many of you in the chat you have used Massive, and is this something that you'll be dipping into? Massive X now free, and I think, by the way, you're right. I think you mentioned this, Jervis, that it's a really good strategy, giving away something and then getting people to buy the content and then upgrade. It's a great path, isn't it? It's a great piece of marketing.
Yeah, absolutely. And it does, absolutely. It's proper gateway stuff. So it offers a starting block for anyone who might not have the funds to buy any of the sort of library that's out there. So it's a great thing to do.
I think what's cool about it as well is that often in the past, going back a ways, entry level stuff was so limited. It allowed you to do one or two things, and it wasn't really much good for anything beyond the one or two things you got. And they hoped that you might explore further. This is actually a really well featured freebie that has a decent library with it, and there's more libraries coming. I think there's more bundles you can download as well, so it's you can almost certainly do a whole track with this.
As it's a player, if you mess around with the sounds, are you able to save them?
Good question.
Yeah,
you'd hope so, wouldn't you?
I've no idea, but well, who knows?
That could be the start of get off your arse and buy the real one. Buy one now kind of area.
Yeah, there's maybe limited functions with it, like you can turn the cut off up and down and things like that. but sort of limited little functions that when you want to go and dive a little bit deeper, you do need to invest in the full whack. But it does state there. It just sort of gets you started off. So it's
so you get access to the controls, but not necessarily be able to save what you've done as an additional preset into the banks.
And I suppose they'll give you a sort of cut price upgrade path as well.
Yeah,
if
I think
you're
so.
a user of this,
I think so.
Then you'll get the full version for, you know.
Yeah.
But still, it's all good. It's all good news for, you know, getting people making music and using, you know, using their computers as a springboard, really, because that's what we want, isn't it? We want more people to make music.
There we go. The DAW will save the state of the plugin, but that's more tenuous than actual preset. Well, I've not actually, curiously, I've not downloaded this, so I don't know, and I will be. I'll be checking it out because they're doing really good things. But it does kind of, it almost neatly segues me into to another something. Would you be interested in where are we? Here we go. So slick as a weasel's bottom, this. So let me just I know. What?
Segue.
It could be.
I've heard better analogies, I must admit.
So NI, NTS, you know, NKS, NI. So here's a little something that might just whet your appetite. I'd just be really interested to see what you think of this, gentlemen. So here we go. We have got...
Yes. Oh, no, sorry, Soundtoys. Got excited then for the wrong thing.
Yeah. No, this is the LX Mark III, so the Nektar Mark III. It's a bit of a thing. So they're releasing this. This has been released today. And 25, 49, 61 key versions. I think they've even got an 88 note version of this, although I might be wrong. But this is launching today. The deal with this, if I can just stop moving the screen around and making everyone seasick, the deal with this is that it is really set up primarily as a DAW controller. So you can manage plugins and all that, but it's primarily set up to be your hardware interface for your DAW, so that you can control the transport, volume, do all of the stuff you need to with effects, etc. And it's got some pretty good functionality. It's got this three new modes for the keyboards, scale and chord modes, and 2 new hold modes as well, which does something really interesting with held notes when you're playing, as you can see. Well, you can't see and you can't hear because I haven't got anything for that at the moment. But there's a lot to this. It has loop control, so you can actually start running something without having to set up loops on your DAW. You can set a loop up on the keyboard itself. You can enter a start point and an end point, and then arm it and go into record, and it will automatically do that for you in whatever your DAW happens to be, and trim it up for you and play it straight back to you. So there's some good stuff from this. There's some good stuff. It's compatible with NKS, so as have a lot of others. They're sort of chasing down this NKS compatibility thing, and the pricing is not bad. So it starts off at $105, 96 quid, 109 euros, all the way up to 299 euros, just under 300 euros. So 263 quid, $289 for the 88 voice version. The only thing is, which I find odd, these are cheap. It doesn't have any aftertouch, and it doesn't have MIDI in and out. That's all handled by USB. So it's a curious one. It's very affordable, very cheap, but I'm not sure it's. I'm not sure how popular it's going to be, guys. What are your thoughts? How about we start with you, Jervis, Mr. Jason?
I don't want to be a nag at all because anybody, but I've spent so much of my life trying to get my door to be controlled by a keyboard that I never want to see a keyboard with door controls ever again. I've been 20 odd years of trying to do this. So I hope they've got it right, but I don't know if the market's still there as well. Because 20 years on, who's still doing that? Are we still, is there appetite for it? I mean, you guys in the chat, watching this video afterwards, are you still trying to control your door with the keyboard, or have you gone past that and you're still using a keyboard and mouse? Because that's where I am. I've got a nice trackball, which I love, and that really gets me around, but I'm not making music the same way I was 20 years ago. I'm not using anywhere near the volume of plugins. It's mostly hardware for me, and it's audio input, and I'm recording sequences that way. So I don't know. That's the way I work. You might not work the same way. So I guess if it works, great. In my experience, I've wasted more time trying to get these things working. So I think the last keyboard I had was a Novation Impulse 25, which is now broken. And I've got a nice Arturia the keyboard, the Mark II, which is brilliant, but I don't think I ever use it for its full thing. I use the pads and I use the keyboard, but that's it. What's everyone else thinking?
Thing is, it comes with a lot of features. I'm going to get onto Scott and Kent just in a moment, but it's got a lot of features. So it's got some really good, a lot of encoders, sliders, pads.
But no MIDI out.
Well, no, but it's got USB. So
yeah,
it's not got aftertouch, but it comes with a huge amount of what it says is controllability of any door. It supports just about every door that's out there. It's got templates for every door, and it actually ships with quite an amazing bundle of stuff. So aside from being able to do all the NKS stuff, it has chords and intervals, keep it, scales.
You scroll back up. Was it one of the Korg plugins? Does it come with that?
I'm just coming down to this. So included.
Oh, here we go.
Complete 15, select 15 bundle. You have to buy it, and then you get a voucher, and then you go on to Native Instruments, and they will give you. You just buy one of the bundles and enter the voucher, and you get the license for freebie, as it were, which is a great deal. You get the Mini Ray synth by MOK. That's a bit of a beast of a synth, that one. It really is, and you get Bitwig Studio 8-track included as well. So depending on what you're about, I mean, it's quite a cheap point of entry. A couple of €100. You get the keyboard, you get control, you get a Bitwig 8 Studio, Bitwig 8-track Studio. You get a whole bunch of complete. So yeah, Scotty. What's Scotty? Why am I calling you Scotty? It's not fucking Star Trek. Scott, what about you? What's your thoughts on this, mate?
To be fair, most people do call me Scotty Andrews, so don't worry about it.
So Sandra. Yeah, Sandra.
It's not my cup of tea, but I can see the market that it's aimed at for these sort of laptop producers or people who are beginning to get into laptop producing. The big stumbling block for me, I would say, for that one is the lack of aftertouch. I think that's a little bit of an oversight, but probably something to keep the cost down. But with the sort of the software, you're getting bundled up with it. But now you're getting Massive X Player for free as well. That's something else you can hook up to that. It's a very good little starting point for someone who's just maybe trying to get into doing sequencing, producing, however you want to look at it. I definitely think it's a good little starting point for someone, and not that expensive. Your biggest expense would really be your computer, to be honest. But yeah, the lack of MIDI out, albeit you're getting it through USB, but even if you just wanted to connect it up to another synth or desktop or something like that, you're a module, you're kind of screwed. You can't use it for that. But I dare say you could maybe get some sort of converter that would convert it over. But I would assume.
Well, I was thinking about this, and I was thinking when I first saw it, I thought, well, there's an awful lot of really cheap keyboards out there with aftertouch, but the problem is you need a completely separate MIDI interface or a USB-C to MIDI, which or something, to be able to run it as well. So the aftertouch thing is a bit of I'm a bit surprised by that.
Yeah.
Kent, what about you, mate?
Well, you've come to me last, and pretty much everything that could be said about this has now been said, to be honest. The thing
Bye.
is... Bye. The Nektar... I mean, I've had a Nektar 88, and it was about 199 quid, and it was the cheapest pile of crap I've ever owned. And it would be, because it was 199 quid for a 88-note controller. The thing is about, these controllers are definitely aimed at beginners. Not having DIN MIDI makes it useless to take out and play live anywhere, unless you're going to take another box with you with another power supply to convert the USB then to DIN MIDI out. But,
it's curious you should say that, because apparently this went out on tour with Modular across the States. They sent him and his band an 88-note version and a 61-note version, travel all around the States with them, and he loved it. He was very
he
complimentary
would, because he has people who take care of all that stuff behind the keyboard for him. If you're doing it yourself, it's an extra pain in the bum. It's another bag to carry. Do you know what I mean? So I got a cupboard full of controllers of every shape and bleeding size over the years. The best controllers for me, that work for me, are the complete control ones. And the Mark III's got polyphony aftertouch, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, there is that. I mean, but are we the audience for this?
I'd say no. I'd say no. I think this is for people starting out, hence you've got a software bundle with it. It has just a few bits and pieces for you to get on with, and you get started. And if you think, oh, I like this, I can get into this, then go and get a better one.
Yeah. Does the bigger keyboard, does the 88 note actually have a MIDI output, or is it MIDI?
No, none of it
MIDI
has
on
a
any
MIDI.
of them.
So Robbie's in the chat.
I don't know why they dropped it,
the
because the old Mark I Nektar had MIDI, DIN MIDI.
Yeah, that would make sense. That would absolutely make sense. If you've got an 88-note keyboard, you are going to have a piano module somewhere.
Well, it'd be nice if it comes with the cable.
See, that's why you should be here, Robbie, rather than sitting at home scratching your nuts. I mean, really, you see, you know about this. I think it's again, we down at the bottom end of the market for people that don't have a lot of budget. There's a lot of stuff out. There's a lot of options out there now, and anything which encourages people to get involved. Inevitably, we're all just hopeless at not spending money, and I'll just get one little. Yeah, I was talking to Kent about this earlier. I've still got my Evoke in a box. I still haven't opened it. I haven't had time. I think, Kent, have you opened yours?
Oh yeah, it's out there. I turned it on 2 weeks ago. Looked at it and went, "Oh yeah, I don't know how to work this," and that was it. And I've got to go back to it at some point. So.
Well, yeah, perhaps not for us. So there we go. Robbie, it's good to see you here. Hope you're having a lovely evening off. And
sure.
Talking of cheap. I thought
you were waiting to move over to me.
This could be aimed at any of us.
Talking of affordable, that's a lovely look you had there, young Jason.
Can't afford socks. Come on.
We'll get to the foot of it at some point.
Kick into the curb.
Robbie's
We'll
not
call
here to tell
you.
me off. So talking of affordable, there is something which I'm just going to dig up now. Who'd like to see a quick Veed? Anyone?
Yeah.
Go on then.
Here it comes.
So in our last Eurorack module release, we launched our first granular sampler, Behringer Skies, a faithful reproduction of the incredible Mutable Instruments Clouds. And anyone who knows Clouds knows there's a module that pairs really well with it. So today we're checking out our version of one of the most angelic sounding modules in Eurorack. So what is Halos? Well, on the surface, you'd be forgiven for thinking it's a multi-voice oscillator. But that's not the case, and it is in fact a full-bodied resonator that uses several physical modeling synthesis techniques to achieve its wonderful tones. By transforming an external or internal unpitched excitation audio signal into a full-bodied pitched sound. And it's capable of synthesizing anything from plucked and strummed sounds like harps and slide guitars and sitars to mallet vibrations like xylophones, vibes, tubular bells, and a whole lot more. So without further ado, let's dive in and take a look. So starting off, let's take a look at the three onboard engines. So the first we have here, represented by the green LED, is a modal resonator, and it's designed to simulate the resonance of vibrating structures like bars, plates and strings when they are struck by things like a mallet.
And it goes on. We'll drop a link to that into the chat. In fact, I'll do that now whilst we're there, or you can just search for it, Halos. This is a really interesting little beastie. They've done something here with, it's a Mutable Instruments thing. I was really surprised and quite heartened to see they've credited Mutable Instruments at the bottom. Well, they said this is.
It's totally open source, so they can. And this is compared to how Behringer sometimes do business, this being open source is available to everybody for reproduction, right? So obviously Emily sort of closed the doors of Mutable Instruments in 2022, and since then everyone's made a clone, and I think I even bought a clone of Clouds early in my modular. I paid about 150 quid for it. So actually Behringer doing this for the price they're doing them, under 100 quid, it's not the worst thing they've done. So it's not a bad thing. I'm saying.
It's. I mean, here's the thing.
Rings,
Yeah, it's got three different synthesis engines, which emulate plucked sounds like guitar-like stuff, more stringy, more mallety, and you can change the properties of where on the string or the resonating material it's being hit. You can change the decay. You can change the complexity of the thing. Not only that, it's not just restricted to one oscillator. It can actually have up to four, which means that as you play or pluck them, then rather than them cutting off from one to the other like a monophonic normally does, you get that over ring as it switches from one to the other. So you've got four voices.
Which is great for those bell-like tones and things like that. You really need that sort of the crossover between one voice to the next for any kind of long decays and stuff.
You do. And here's the thing. It's 86 or 89 quid.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's got full CV control. There's USB. You can plug USB into it as well. It's a powerful beastie.
Sounds great.
It does. I think I would be really interested in getting this. Ken, I mean, you're not really into modular at all, particularly, but the sounds of this thing, I don't know if you had a chance to listen to the whole video and check out some of what it's doing. Some of what it's doing is extraordinary. What's your thoughts on this, mate?
Yeah, well, I mean, I have tried to get into Eurorack and up to a point, I did, I suppose. But you know, it's for me, it's more about you know, I'm more used to modulars where you need a wheelbarrow to carry them around in. So, you know, and they cost more than all the cars that I own, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I did think for a moment, because I thought, oh, okay, right. So I was wondering, like, it would be nice if Behringer also at some point made something original of their own.
Yeah.
See where they would go with that, you know.
Neutron, the neutron, the photon are their original sort of synths, but they are.
And the neutron's great as well. I've got the
Yeah.
neutron,
I mean,
and it sounds great.
Because they did try going down the software route as well, didn't they, with that VST, which was god awful. Oh mate, nobody talks about that anymore.
I don't know why. No, because they're not. They shouldn't make software. They're not very good at their software updates for their hardware, let alone software updates for software.
I reckon that software's in the Epstein papers somewhere.
So listen,
Listed,
it's real easy. It's real easy to bash Behringer, right? It's really easy to do that. They're a soft target.
Yeah.
But this is a good.
No, you can't knock this. You can't knock the pricing. I mean,
and like
I've said before, like with that when I had the Behringer 55, you know, I was using. Do the VCOs sound like the VCOs? No, they don't. But that's not the point. The point was people were getting the experience of what it was like to use a Moog System 55 because they got no cat's hell in. No, sorry, no, not in front of the cats. They got no chance.
He's fine. He's fine. He's gone now.
Yeah, he's going in disgust. You know, what it's like to use a 960, you know, and all that sort of thing. And so, yeah, I used to have Behringer hate and everything like that, but no, not really. No, not now. And you know, getting a Clouds for £89, what's not to like?
So here's a question for you. Would you be tempted with this? Because I've listened to the video. I think it sounds astonishing. Would you be tempted by this if it was up to 8-note poly and it had a keyboard on it and they were to release it at around about £300-400?
No.
Without
I got no room left. I got no room, right? This floor is actually a bow in the front room now. There's so much gear. I can't buy any more stuff and then not use it, which is the pathetic part of all that.
Thing is, so here's the thing. I quite like the sound of this, and I think what they've done with the the sound of the plucked instruments on this is really quite wonderful. I know it's been done before, and I know it's a copy, but they've added a couple more little bits to it. I'd love this. If this came out with a keyboard on it, I'd probably go and get it. For £200-300, I would probably get it just because I love those kinds of plucked sounds so much, and I spend an age trying to program, to sound design those on other synths. So I'm just wondering, anyone else? Scott, what about you?
I really like it. I would definitely. I've never really gotten into the whole Eurorack side of things. I kind of tried to steer clear of it because I know where I would end up, and that would be an entire room full of this stuff.
Yeah.
And I just think it's a rabbit hole that once you start delving into it, you're just, or I know that I'd be like, I've got no control that way, so I would just end up with modules everywhere. But when I hear likes of that one there, when you sent me the link through the week to that one, Andrew, I was like, oh, there's certain ones that just grab me, and it's like a sound that you just really wouldn't get from another synth. It has to be modular, you know. Okay, you'd maybe get it from a sort of FM type thing you could probably recreate, but the hands-on straight into it to sort of get that sound is just so appealing to me. That's the thing I like about it.
And Andy Brooks trying to turn me to the dark side.
There's no dark side of Modular. There's no dark side.
Well, actually, coming to you, may I mention the word bankruptcy?
You don't have to buy every module that's ever been made.
Don't be silly. Of course you do.
You can have self-control. It is possible to buy into Modular without blowing every single bit of money you have and then getting a mortgage to do the rest. I've done all right. I've gently eased myself into Modular. The thing to remember is the Mini Freak, because a lot of rings is actually included with the latest update to version 3 for the Mini Freak. So you can get a lot of these sounds if you don't want to go to Modular in the Arturia Mini Freak. So that will, Andrew, open the door for you to get those sounds, and you get a keyboard, and you probably get Aftertouch, I think, with that as well. So yeah, so that's definitely a thing. Yes, Steve, loving the Mini Freak. Yeah, absolutely. It's a quality item, and again with Arturia, you will continue to receive updates, and with them working with people like Noise Engineering, you're going to get their algorithms thrown in somewhere down the line too. So I mean, you don't have to get into Modular to benefit from the mutable instruments, because the Micro Freak itself is based on Plats. So all the multi-algorithmic nature of these synths are solely down to mutable instruments.
And that's, I guess that's the thing, isn't it? There's a lot out there at the moment. I know there are also key beds. There's a couple of instruments, key beds, that essentially allow you. It's got a keyboard there, and you can just slot different Euro rack modules into the backplate of it. So you've got a keyboard which you can
create audio, do one, which
create audio. That's right.
Which is a keyboard. But I mean, like I say, you don't even need to have Modular. You can just buy the Mini Freak or Micro Freak.
You can, but this is a good unit. I think we're all sort of
absolutely.
It's
yeah.
Good.
I mean,
I wish they bring it out with a keyboard on it, because I think it's got a sound about it that's quite. Yeah, can you imagine doubling up the polyphony and then putting a keyboard on this? That would be quite astonishing, I reckon. But there we go. That's just me. That's just me. So that, I mean, that at 89 pounds or whatever that is, that's ridiculously cheap. We've had free, we've had very affordable, we've had another very reasonable set of keyboards from Nektar keyboards that are affordable. How about we go for something madly expensive? Anyone?
We're talking Oberheim again. Somebody say Oberheim.
Why don't I play? I feel another video coming on. Nina 2.1 is out now, a Groovebox unlocked for dynamic and expressive performance anywhere, studio or stage. Great for generating quick and new ideas or works of amazing complexity into your music. This is all powered by Nina's raw analog oscillators, ladder filter and wavetable oscillator. Not forgetting the revolutionary motorized knobs that snap to life for hands-on, tactile, interactive control. Let's take a look at the key features on Nina's multi-track sequencer. 4 tracks per pattern with up to 64 steps with independent lengths per track. Per step automation, front panel parameters can be locked per step. Polyphonic sequencing, up to 12 voices available spread across the 4 tracks. So you get the idea. This is not a new instrument. It's been out for a while, Nina, but they've just done this new version, this new firmware update that gives you polyphonic sequencing. This was already a pretty monster machine, and if you get the firmware update for it, they send you free a little overlay that tells you what everything is for the new polyphonic sequencer. This is a curious piece of kit, especially at the, is it 2,300 or it's 3,299 or something, isn't it? It's expensive, but it is. But it is. But it's 12 voices. It's motorized. It's now got the polyphonic sequencer. Ken, earlier, you said when we were talking about it online, as it were, you said this is a really good thing. I mean, it's expensive, but it's a really good thing. Any thoughts?
Yeah. I mean, personally, can I have the sequencer without the synth? Because I'm looking for a decent sequencer, but when it comes to synths, I've got enough. You know, so maybe get that one later, because I mean the Nina does sound nice. I mean you can't knock her at all. But
sounds great, yeah.
Yeah, but I'd like to have that sequencer, but just as a sequencer, if possible, sold separately. You know. Sandra, I know you quite like the sound of this as well.
Yes.
Well, I mean, is it £3,299 worth of love, or are there other things out there? There's the third wave. There's the I can't remember the name of them now.
I don't know. He's got a Moog One. He knows how to waste money.
He does. He does.
How rude.
Jesus, Ken. That
doesn't dawn.
Scott,
no, I love it. I think it's great. Yes, it's pricey, and I know it's pricey, but the sound of the thing, I just think it sounds like nothing else. It doesn't. I don't know what they've done, because it is just a standard ladder filter that's in there, and I think there's two analog oscillators and one digital sort of wavetable like oscillator in there as well. But it's just the sound from the thing. It just sounds amazing. And this sequencer update, when I seen the video for that, it was the actual per step. You can actually change all the knobs that are on it, all these motorized knobs. You can set them per step. So when it goes through all the steps of your sequence, you're getting a different modulation for every single step, and it's all the knobs on the face are recordable per step, which is it's proper. It just sounds so nice. You can come up with some really cool stuff.
I remember doing that with controller messages and NRPNs back in the day, with DXs or DX5 and other things, just doing program changes and just per step. But there was always that lag, so you had to sort of trigger it ahead of time.
Yeah.
This is a lot more. There's a lot more going on with this, and you're right. There's the thing. It's 2 analog VCOs, digital wavetable oscillator, and Moog style ladder filter. I mean, it is pretty gorgeous.
Yeah,
it really is pretty.
It's
gorgeous.
Definitely on my hit list. It's one that's on my hit list. When I don't know, but it's just one that I keep going back and looking at it. It's one of these ones that I'm just like, do I take the plunge? Do I not? But I think I will eventually, guaranteed. But
well, Jean-Michel Jarre has said that it's one of his top 5 of all time.
Really,
and it's MPE compatible. So it responds
to
MPE, which is a good thing for those that like MPE. Yeah, it's a bit of a beast. It really is. Jason, what is this the kind of thing? Because this feels almost like it's modular, but it's not. It's a self-contained box. But
too posh for me. I'm surprised at how big it is. When I've seen pictures of it, it looks kind of a small footprint, but actually, it's quite big, isn't it? I quite like that. Actually, and I like the buttons are those kind of old school kind of buttons, which it's a bit sexy. Definitely would like to have a little moment or 3 with it. And I've obviously, you're aware of these things because they're everywhere, right? So the idea of motorized, I personally, I don't know if that's important, and it's not sort of the thing that I've ever wanted in a synth. But being able to switch and have automation and know where that is, that I can see the value in that for sure.
Amanda Chowdhury again has mentioned that they also make the rotor control, which is another thing that is a great thing. I don't think it does the sequencing you're after, young Spong Walker, but it's another thing that's a good piece of kit to have for things. This is an odd thing. It seems very expensive, but it does seem to be doing things that nothing else quite does.
Yeah,
For sure.
It reminds me of the cat.
Does it?
Yeah,
Which one?
the Krumar one.
Yeah. Why does it
Yes.
remind? Do you mean in terms
I
of?
get it, the look.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I was looking at it going, what synth have I worked
What's that
on
remind me
that
of?
reminds
Yeah.
me of?
Yeah. Turtle Beach.
Yeah. So there we go.
Yeah.
There's the oscillators. Each one, oscillators 1 and 2, waveforms morphable between triangle, sawtooth, and PW and square wave. I mean, we've covered the synth itself. I think it's the
knobs, yeah.
the new sequencing thing that's just mad. I mean, look at that.
Yeah, it can't be the Krumar or the cat. It's Krumar or the cat. Yeah, you're right. Can't be a Krumar cat. It's not such a bleeding thing.
Octave Cat.
Yeah, the Octave Cat or
Octave
the
Cat.
Krumar. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, and the company became Turtle Beach
Yeah.
that made those. Oh, why my battery saver on? Oh no.
They did. So this is a free firmware update for anyone that owns it, but it's adding a whole bunch of functionality. I love the fact it's got a 4-track, 12-voice sequencer built in now, and it looks pretty comprehensive. I love the fact that you can make every single step has a completely, you can change pretty much everything on every single step. That's kind of getting into the territory that Ty Unwin and yourself, Scott, and others would love, because it suddenly gives you a set of sonic textures you can't get elsewhere.
Yeah.
Really quickly and it's in hardware. You're not having to do the mouse thing. You're actually able to just get really hands-on.
Yeah. And that's where I think these motorized, for the likes of myself, like if I'm working on a patch and I jump from one patch over to another, to go back to another patch, you've worked on one patch, but you go back to another, you're like, shit, where was everything on that? And you're kind of having to find your way back. Not every synth has got, a lot of the sequential ones now, when you find the pot where it was saved at, there's a little light comes on the LED screen just to let you know that's where the pot was. That eliminates all that, because all these pots just jump back and forward to where they were, so you don't have to be, you're not having to go back and search to exactly where you were with that previous patch that you were making, kind of thing.
Do you know, the funny thing is, I remember back in the 80s when I was working on SSL desks and or Neves, but primarily SSLs, and the promise was total recall. It had total recall. Mm-hmm. And the total recall depended on you looking at a screen and trying to get the, you could see where the fader or the knob was that you were turning, and you had to get it sort of in the ballpark. Yeah. And then it would go, right, that's it. But you had to do that for every single channel strip, and on a 72-channel desk.
Wow.
That was a it really, so every button you could do it. But did you really want to? And I think what's good about this is it's not doing the thing that sequential are. It's actually, the motorized faders thing is actually a really good idea.
Yeah.
It's actually a really good idea. But it's expensive.
It is expensive, yeah.
What was the synth that had rotary encoders, continuous rotary encoders with a light around it with LEDs? Was that a novation? Am I inventing a synth that never existed?
Describe it again.
There was one now. I can't remember what one it was, Jason.
Anybody else remember that? There was a synth, and I in my head it's a Novation Supernova keyboard, and it's rotary encoders with an a ring of LEDs around the outside. So you would switch patches, and the LED would show where that was.
I think you're talking about possibly the KS series, KS 1, 2, 3, or no 1, 3, and 5, something like, or 4 and 5.
Maybe,
KS 4 and 5.
Maybe. Nord Lead 3, Wagu's saying yes, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah, see, I'm getting my synths wrong. It's the Nord Lead 3. That I think is a great workaround for exactly this problem of not working on. I mean, again, I think James Dyson points out that it's also 4-part multi-timbral, which is so unusual these days, and the Nord Leads are multi-timbral too, so that would make sense in the same realm.
I should have got that. There's one in the hall.
Kick it on the way out.
Thing about the multi-timbrality on this, you can, for each of the 4 tracks, you can spread the polyphony between them, but it doesn't, it doesn't mean you've only got 4 tracks of 3, 3 voices. You can set them up however you wish. That's my understanding. So you could have one that's a 6-voice something, and then a bass and a duo,
which is the same as the Moog 1 does that you can basically assign, if you've just got a bass on one patch, because it's got the 3 layers in the Moog 1, because it's 3-part multi-timbral, you can select for your bass just a single voice if it's just for a mono bass that you're playing, and then you could either have a binaural pad or keys and a pad or whatever, and split the remaining 16 voices or 15 voices over the next 2 layers kind of thing, leaving that one voice on your bass. It's quite a clever system, that when you can select which layer, how much voices goes per layer. It's a great idea. Yeah,
great.
Well, I think what's interesting. I'm just going to come back to it because I like it so much. I think what is interesting about it is it's as hardware. It feels, having the sequencer on board now as well, so it's got all the buttons and everything else, but it becomes a complete workstation, as it were, for sequencing, which is not something you see often. You kind of have to do sub-menu diving and all that kind of stuff normally. This looks like a much more comprehensive thing, and it looks like it's built like a tank. Has anyone actually played
aluminium cheeks? Are definitely a nod to the sort of Roland sort of which it definitely gives a bit of presence with that, doesn't it? I like that for sure.
Trying to work out where the knobs, the knobs are quite large. They're really, I mean, obviously they're motorized, but they look
steady.
enormous. Yeah,
steady.
I know. Yeah, there you
go.
It in. Well, look, that's the Melbourne Instruments Nino.
Yeah.
I think it's version 2 or 2.1, or is it 1.9? I can't remember.
It was 2 point something, I think.
2.1, I think
maybe it was.
Let's have a quick look.
It's a little bit of
I guess that's why it is bigger than it looks, because the knobs are so huge.
Yeah. It does. It looks like a little bit of everything. You got the cat's knobs. You got the CR909's buttons.
So buttons. Oh, computer buttons.
The Voitra colouring. You got the Jupiter 8 and 6 end cheeks. A little bit of everything in it.
Yeah, there's a big nod to everyone really in there.
Yeah. And that's and it's respectful with that as well, as it really is. Yeah. Tasteful.
It just screams buy me, but 3,300. If I had lots of money to spend, I would probably get one. But I love it. I like it a lot. Yeah. It's a good thing. So
Ty will have one. You'll be able to get a shot in his. Give one of his a shot. Ty will definitely have one.
Absolutely. And I think I'm just trying to think the lights on the buttons, the sequencer button, all the lights. What's that from? Is that from a QY or something?
TR909.
Mm-hmm.
Is it? Oh, it is, isn't it? Yeah, there we go. Mm. There we go. So let me just remove that now. That's the Melbourne Instruments Nina. So we've gone from free to very, very cheap. To very, very affordable,
starter, affordable,
with the Behringer. We've gone to no aftertouch, but a good set of keyboards that are NKS compatible from Nektar, that were very, very affordable, to this, which is mad, but a brilliant, brilliant thing.
Yeah.
We could.
Can you afford a second mortgage? kind of unit. Yeah.
I think that's what we did when we got these puppies, Kent. We
Yeah,
did.
tell me about it. Yeah.
And all that.
Oh, I know.
What else is there? There's a whole bunch of stuff. I mean, actually, do you know what? There's something else. There's some plugins I want to talk about, but there's also. Let's just bring this up and see what the story. I know this is something that Jason quite likes. Do forgive me. Yeah.
Guilty.
Let's
That's
just
charged.
cut that out and do this. So,
Oh, Scott, your ocarinas on fire.
The Ocarina of Time. Burn it.
the Ocarina
Sorry, I
of
couldn't
Time.
help it.
So, listen,
he's
we've got all
muted.
these. The pinata of time. Yeah, it's on fire.
I used to like
really-
you, Ken.
I really want a pinata. I might have to do a pinata preset now.
Oh my goodness.
So,
Yeah.
one of the things that we often, I mean, we don't talk about possibly as much as we might, which is, but for all these wonderful synths, we had a synth really, we had the Muse came out, and one of the things that was said about the Muse was didn't have any effects, which people were kind of, they were digging in about that a bit, and even for our own effect, for soft, in the box stuff, there's a lot of stuff out there, but what's good, what's bad. And I think getting the right effects make a really big difference. But some of them can be quite expensive. Now, we saw something earlier. In fact, Jason was talking about this. There is a summer offer, the summer sale from Soundtoys, where 50% off.
Yeah.
50% off for all of these, for the whole collection.
I mean,
which
300 quid. I mean, I think, Soundtoys 4. And for me, we all record in the box, no matter what we do. So actually having a set of plugins that enhance and complement our electronic instruments is, I think, essential. And I would say that the Soundtoys library, they have a very analog sound. And I don't know if I've encountered that before. I use Isotope quite a lot, and they do sound digital. And I've used some of the, the stuff from Native Instruments, and again, it's very, they can appear very strict and and digital in that respect as well. But I find that the Soundtoys really do give you that extra bit of warmth that isn't normally associated with plugins. So yeah, it's 300 quid well worth spent.
Absolutely.
I think so.
Yeah.
At that price, I mean,
Yeah.
actually, yes, Scott, what is this something that's, I know a lot of sound designers are using some really decent stuff. I'm still trying to settle on my particular choices. Is this something that forms part of your workflow using these Soundtoys?
It is for when I'm writing. Yeah, if I'm writing tracks. I was actually lucky enough that the missus, she got me it for my Christmas a few years back. I think it was Soundtoys 5, but it was the full sweep. And there's certain ones in there, the Echo Boy and things like that I use loads. But one that is my favourite, believe it or not, is the Decapitator. See if you use that Decapitator on drums.
Yeah.
Like snares, it just totally brings them to life. It's just chalk and cheese what you can do. You can go to full destruction or just add enough bite in there that it just seems to, it's like Jason says, it just adds that sort of analog grit that on a digital drum just sounds great.
It's a good looking thing. Ken, these Soundtoys, I know you like your reverb plugins and your delays and things. Is this? Have you checked out any of the Soundtoys? Is this something that's part of your collection?
Yeah, I have Soundtoys. Absolutely. Yeah, I use them quite a lot. Do like them. They've been a mainstay with me since they were invented. Basically, I've always had them. It's sort of like the oats in the cupboard, as it were. You've always got them, you know.
I think that. Go on.
So, but I mean, you know, any price reductions, welcome.
Yeah, 50% off.
Yeah.
You know, that's a cracking deal. 300 quid for all of that stuff.
I think I see Little Altar Boy for 49 quid? I mean, that's an easy one. Little Altar Boy's a wonderful little
brilliant
really
little bit of kit, that, isn't it?
Yeah, Decapitator as well is firm favourite of mine.
But the whole collection for 300 quid, it's normally what, 700? 600?
Yeah.
Normally 600. So Soundtoys 5 or any of these you can get. And there's upgrade packages as well.
Yeah.
If you've already
As Uncle Chrome just pointed out, he's already upgraded and it cost him 99 quid. So again, you're not kicked out and told to spend again.
Yeah.
So yeah. Dip your toe in, buy a cheap one if you can afford it.
Well, Crackjack's been put off by the ILoc, but I mean, it's not. ILoc hasn't really been a problem for me since it went software.
Well, yeah. You don't need the dongle anymore. No. You just set yourself up with an ILoc account, and then everything's on there.
Yeah.
It's I hated ILoc when it was dongles. That was just a crazy thing. That.
Yeah, I've still got to get the ILoc sorted out for this Slate Raven.
Nick Howes, I'm not going to post the whole comment because he's on one with this, and you know, I think quite rightly so, to an extent at the very least, which is that BandLab have kind of forced people into migrating to the new version of Sonar that is quite buggy. Doesn't work as well as it could do. I've got a whole library of Cakewalk stuff. I've still got Sonar. Well, not Sonar. I've got Sonar as well, but I've got Cakewalk 8.5, Cakewalk Pro 8.5, just in case I need to go back to it. But they've not been great about how they've forced people to upgrade, because they were doing a whole thing where it was free. We covered this a couple of weeks ago. And I'm sorry you're having a bad experience with it, Nick, but I believe you've moved on to Logic now. So, you know, good luck with that. Hope that works well for you, and it's a good thing. You know, Logic's a good thing. So yeah, this is Soundtoys. They've also got a new Space Blender, which is a reverb effect, which is very good apparently. And the reason I mentioned that is because in addition to... let me just get rid of that for a second. In addition to that, a certain someone who will be known to all and sundry... Let me... have I got this here? Yes, I have. That will be known to all and sundry here as the progenitor of this channel. The Meister, the Tonmeister that is... Mr. Robbie Puricelli, who's not here with us tonight, so we can call him whatever we like. He's been also working on some rather fab new effects, or a fab new effect. Would you like to see a little video?
Indeed.
Here we go.
Run V.
Welcome to Prism Reverb, a new dimension of sound. Prism Reverb isn't just another shimmer reverb. It's a playground for sonic exploration, made for producers, sound designers, and musicians who want more than just beautiful washes. Every control is built to inspire. 4 powerful modules to shape textures that breathe, shimmer, and evolve. Define your reverb's core sound. With size and diffusion controls, you can shape anything from tight, focused spaces to vast ambient environments. Inject life and movement with dual modulation. Depth, LFO rate, and optional randomization offer expressive control. sculpt rich harmonics using 2 independent pitch shifters, offering a plus-minus 2-octave range. With dedicated level and pan controls, this module lets you design immersive spatial pitch effects. Create infinite, self-evolving textures with feedback that pushes beyond 100%. With frequency-specific shaping for highs and lows, you have perfect control over intensity and tone. Prism turns simple sounds into lush landscapes and chaotic, breathing textures. Whether you're composing for film, producing for ambient music, or sculpting guitar tones beyond the limits, Prism Reverb is your gateway to new sonic possibilities. Prism.
And there we go. I mean, so that, let me just bring up the actual doofer here, because it's kind of a, there we go. It's kind of a wonderful thing. So here we go. This is Prism Reverb. Now, apparently, Robbie, unless he tells me otherwise, I think he has been designing some of the presets for this. And I like the look of this. I like the interface. We come back to interface. Years ago, I remember getting my hands for the first time, back when Gob was a boy, on a Yamaha Rev 1 with the big controller, and it had a wonderful, it had the best display because you could see everything that was going on, the room size, the pre-delays, all of that kind of stuff. It was all, so everything was immediate and reactive. This reminds me a bit of that, but it sounds a whole lot better. I really like the look of this. I can't remember how much it is. How much is it?
$79.99.
$79.99. So I think it's £99 normally, but it's on special offer whilst they launch it. So that's a beautiful thing. Anyone taken with this?
Yeah.
Anyone want to go? Scott, go.
I honestly think it sounds great. It's so wide. But the thing that appealed to me with it as well is it can go from short and snappy reverbs all the way out to your massive sort of ambient, spacey, which is unusual. Usually people will focus on one sort of algorithm in such a way that it either leans toward ambient or it's more of a bread and butter rooms and plates and things like that. But you could hear that on the snares and things that they were doing in that demo video. It can actually be quite snappy as well, and just to add a bit of room ambience if that's all you're really looking for. It's kind of a jack of all trades, really. It's quite good and sounds really nice, and the modulation and things that goes with it, you can get some really bizarre kind of reverb tones from it. It's nice. I like it. I will be buying that for sure.
I think I've got to come to our resident reverb meister, Mr. Spong. Is this one for you?
I bought this yesterday.
That'll be your question answered, Andrew.
It's a reverb. Hello. Yeah, I put
great.
the 80 through it, and it was like, oh yeah, rub leg. Yeah, she's nice. Yeah,
She's very nice.
They can put that on the website. Me going, nice reverb. Yeah. Mind you, Fiona
all together now.
Yeah. Fiona because I was in the kitchen making a cup of coffee, and Fiona goes, "What's this email? What have you bought now? Another reverb?"
Yeah.
Well, I've been looking for a while, and this is one that I'm going to be buying. I'll probably buy it tonight. Jason.
Well, I own Total Max from IK Multimedia, which apparently, if you own that and or T-Racks, this is free. So I'll be upgrading later on and having it.
Nice.
I've got it already,
Yeah,
but not
very good.
using it. So yeah, looking forward to that.
And what do you think about? I mean, these just the controls on this, the control surface, the UI. I think
Again, nice UE. Big fan of that.
Yeah,
Straightforward.
Everyone
uncluttered.
Yeah, we looked at Rob Pappin's new pluck thing last week, which sounds amazing, but it's missing this level of graphic. It's missing this level of graphic. I wish you'd do this. I just love this design, and it sounds amazing.
It does, yeah.
Sounds absolutely amazing. So let's come back to us here. Yeah, I mean, it's a funny thing, isn't it? Reverbs with these kinds of things. There are lots out there. So other than this, I mean, I've got to get this because Robbie's been working on it, and he'd murder me if I didn't. But I actually love the sound of it. I want to see what he's been doing, what goodies he's come up with.
Yeah.
Favorite reverbs, favorite plugins, and or hardware. What are you all using at the moment, Kent? What's your sort of
funny
go-tos
enough,
at the moment?
what James is using, Black Hole and Valhalla are both of my go-tos. Like him. And so this is going to be, so this is what I got it, because it's a compliment to both of them.
Yeah.
And Jason, what about you? What's your sort of go-to
I'm just about to dip back into the box after a lot of a sojourn. So I'm looking forward to using my Oxford inflator again, because that's a really cracking plugin. Actually, the Oxford compressor is really good too. So those are two were very, very well used by me over the years. As for spatial things, I think I'm going to be using this quite a lot, and maybe some of the vintage sort of Arturia plugins like the LX24, which is again something I worked on, but really enjoyed that too. So
yeah, that's a great plugin. That's a really, really good plugin, and all the Oxford stuff is really good. I've just bought the gum drate, the drum gate as well. The Oxford gum drate, Yes,
the Oxford gum drop.
I think you can get a soothing balm for that.
Hey, how you doing, Squat? Have you got a drum gate?
Stop that, man.
I've got a gum drate.
Yeah. So verbs.
Spatial wise, I would tend to agree with the Valhalla. I like using Valhalla. I also like to use FabFilter's Pro R. That's a lovely reverb. I mostly use hardware. Most of the time it'll either be Strymon, my Big Sky, or I've got the Specular Tempest as well, which I absolutely love, and then I'll just record that in as audio. But software-wise, I would say Valhalla or the 224, the UAD's modelled Lexicon 224. I love that as well for vocals and things. That's a really nice verb for vocals, and
it's great for guitars as well.
Yes, yeah.
Another great reverb, especially if you're going down the pads and particularly real strings, is RAM.
Yeah, the Native Instruments.
Yeah, she's another one of my go-tos. Actually, she's lovely.
There was an interesting video from some would say contentious person, Henson at Crow Hill, that are doing some string libraries. They've just released, I think it's Pocket Strings, and they've just re-released glass strings with a whole bunch of articulations. But one of the things which he said in the video for that, which I found quite interesting, was how much people using real string, string sample libraries, how much the people that are really good at it just lump on the reverb. They love lumping on a reverb, from the same space, a similar space, just lumping it on, because it just blends everything in together. And I think I kind of, when I was doing a lot of production, I kind of pulled back from putting tons of reverb on everything, because it just became too swimmy, and it was a sound that everyone had. But I'm kind of finding my way back there again.
Well, it's kind of the sound that is vogue at the moment. I mean, you can blame Hans for this. He'll put a 10-second tail on and not think twice about it. And so it's the sound that's hip at the moment, kind of thing, is to have a wash on strings and stuff like that. So
I'm just
my
reading
fly's
some of
open or
the,
something. What?
Yeah.
no, I'm just reading some of the comments here.
Yeah.
So Crow
That's
Hill
a Blackbird.
isn't getting a lot of love today.
Well, you can understand
nor
why.
is-
You can understand why.
And
You know,
nor is Kate
To this
Walk.
day, I still don't know what it was all about.
Christian Henson, allegedly, because I've I did see some of this, made some very made what have been said are transphobic comments, and I can't disbelieve people. He has tried to claim that it was taken out of context, and he's apologised, and he had to leave, the previous company, which he owned a thing in. He started up Crow Hill. Crow Hill are doing some interesting things. I really do get people's take on that, and if that's your thing to not want to do business with someone that is transphobic, I get it. I wonder whether or not he actually is. I wonder whether or not it was a poor choice of words, or whether or not he meant it. I'd love to know. I'd love to have a conversation with him to find out, or with the other people that were involved, because we really we know too many people in our wonderful community whom it affected very badly. But it's one of those things. Didn't mean to go there with this, but so there we go. We have
Jackson's back.
Oh, let's just get close
Jackson's
in on
throwing
that.
Come on. Hello, buddy. There he
It's
is.
an exercise machine. That's good.
That's what he does. Come on, you furry beast. Come and say hello to everybody. Come on. Oh, beautiful. Look. Proper big fat cat. Look at that. Doesn't get much better than that. Look at that little beautiful face.
I'll buy her a drink.
Will you? So
Good to see you.
So talking of such things, talking of plugins, and we've just been talking about, various different companies doing these. You remember a little while ago, Splice bought or merged with or bought an interest in Spitfire Audio, and they're working together now. Well, they have just released, as far as I'm aware, they have just released, have I got a thing on this? I do. They've just released some of their libraries through Splice on a rent-to-buy model, which is brilliant. We'll just have a quick look at the video on this.
Hi, Paul here from Spitfire Audio. I've got something very exciting for you today. It's the launch of Rent to Own on 5 of Spitfire's most popular libraries. With Rent to Own provided through Splice, you'll get full access to the library from day one. You're not getting a watered down version. This is the entire Spitfire Audio experience. With Rent to Own, you make manageable monthly interest-free payments. And when you complete the payments, the library is yours to keep. It's the same perpetual license, but just on different terms. You can still buy the perpetual license of these products through the Spitfire Audio website. This is just another way to access these sounds. We're excited to introduce our products to Splice users, but also to expand access to a wider base of music makers who've maybe always wanted to include high quality orchestral sounds in their productions. So, which products are launching today? First up, BBC Symphony Orchestra Professional. This has the full microphone setup, but also expanded instrument categories, with some of the more unusual and rare orchestral instruments, but also with an individually recorded leader from each of the string sections. It has a huge amount of content and a uniquely cohesive sound, the sound of an orchestra that rehearses and plays together almost every day. Abbey Road 2, iconic strings, probably the most listened to and famous string sound. Of course, it's inspired by the sound of Eleanor Rigby by the Beatles. We took 5 incredible string players in and recorded them in Abbey Road Studio 2, both through a very modern signal path with a variety of different microphones, but also through the vintage gear that was actually used on those sessions. It's hugely...
So we get the thing. The Spitfire library is an astonishing beastie, and we were just doing this as a buy to rent, or as a rent to buy rather. I think is a genius idea by them. For this. I've been looking
so much
at
better than a monthly sub, isn't it?
Well, Well, I've been
where you don't own the software ever. You just completely, you're being rinsed by a software company for all you're worth.
And this is so far out of the price range of so many people, myself included, I have to say, for the whole thing. Is it $24.99 or $25.99 a month? It's for 40 months because it's an expensive thing, but it's interest free. And at the end of it, it's yours. And if you want to pay for it early, you can do that as well.
And that surprised me as well, Andrew, the fact that they're doing this and not putting any interest on it at all. So you're actually paying the same, basically, retail price with no discount or anything like that. The bog standard price that you would buy it for at the moment without any discount is what you will pay over the period that you're paying, which is very, very good. I think that's a cracking deal.
It's astonishing. I mean, they've got the symphony library here. They've got what's this? Legacy 2, so Orchestral 2. They're gradually releasing. I think my understanding is they're going to be releasing everything they do. Even the Eric Whiteacre Choir, if it came up, which it doesn't appear to want to do. But the Whiteacre Choir, all of it. This is a stunning library, and I've wanted to get my hands on this for ages. I'll almost certainly be buying this. Kent, do you already own this, Kent?
I own everything.
I know that.
Yeah, no, I own all of it already. But the thing is, I remember when Spitfire were going into partnership, bought up by what's his face. This was one of the things we were talking about this months and months ago. This was going to be one of the things that was going to come up, and
Splice.
Yeah, and I was because they went the sort of like literally rent to buy instead of monthly subscription. It was like thank you, So, well, like I just bought something today that's buy to rent to own, that AI thing I was telling you about. And I think it presents a new problem especially for people like me, and that is keeping an eye on how many of these bloody things you're buying. Okay, because you put in your email, your credit card details, and boom, download it. And you go, cool, right, and you're enjoying all that, but you've got to remember how many of these you're actually buying, because they've made it so easy, because a library comes up, it could be like, like the BBC one, stonking great library, costs like £700, and you go, email address, dink, done, download it, it's yours, So I'm definitely have a little book here. I think I'll just say, you've already bought that. Stop. And in big red letters,
It's easy to forget. You check all the subscriptions you have, and you suddenly find you've got sort of 30 that you'd forgotten about, and there's a lot of money going out the door. Jason, I don't suppose this is anything that you're particularly interested in, is it?
No, but I have on occasion done music to picture and projects where I've had to use. Years ago, I had what was it called? A really big, the Vienna Symphony Orchestra sort of plug-in, huge giga samples. So yeah, I have used that, but because my understanding of music is kind of from a rock and roll background rather than a classical background. At the time, I was working with someone who comes from a classical background. So basically, I presented the software, he did the work, and it sounded fantastic. So I think this kind of thing, if you need an orchestra and you can score for an orchestra and arrange for an orchestra, then something that sounds as good as this will sound is an essential tool. The fact that you can rent to buy, I think that's a win. I think we're all fed up with the sort of monthly subscription model. I think that's got to go for anything now. It's like we never own what we're paying for, and I just think it's an outdated sort of model now. I think this is the future, I think.
Well, it's different in that in certain sectors like the video sector, it's the only way to make these things affordable, and it keeps things being developed. Although, some would argue that development process is it developing for me or is it developing for them?
Adobe.
Yeah. Scott, what about you? Is this on your list? Do you already have it? What's the story?
I don't have it, and I've heard Kent playing it, and always wanted it since I heard Kent play it. So I think now I will probably take the plunge with that one. Again, I was like you, Andrew. It was the sort of layout of the sort of 800-900 quid for the pro version. I was like, I was sort of putting it on hold for a while, but at that it's a no-brainer really for the people that are into that kind of thing. Yes, it's a no-brainer because it's a fantastic library. It's so good.
I think it's the miking of it as well. This particular, the BBC library in particular, the way they've played with the mic, so you can get that really intimate. And they said about doing miking it the way they did for the Beatles, getting that kind of sound is incredibly. It's very hard to simulate that well, and they just do that, and that's a sound that I have in my head from my youth, and I've wanted that forever. And pretty much every string library I've ever bought or any set of string samples I've put together myself, I've always been chasing that sound. And this is it here now, and it's 25 quid a month. Yeah, I think
it's also maybe could possibly looked at as a reflection on the state of the economy, where people haven't got lots of ready to hand. I mean, it's technically what it is. It's buying software on credit. That's what it is. I mean, they call it rent to buy, but it's a hire purchase, for want of a better word. But there was no credit check at all.
Yeah, absolutely. Simon Great Badge just said he's bought the Soundtoys bundle because of us, and now he wants this. Are we on commission? No, but we should.
Yeah, we fucking should be.
We'll happily take some.
Well, I tell you what, when we talk about this AI thing I bought today, get your wallet out.
Put it away.
We've got time to just quickly tell us about that, because that sounded really interesting. Tell us about this AI thing.
Well, at the moment, basically, I've only just scratched the surface of this thing. But basically, what it is you are given a miniature door, if you like. It's a player type door, and within it is these AI instruments. There's a solo violin and cello and stuff like that, right? But there's also, I think there's over 80 different AI singers. So, different types of AI singers, and obviously these will be royalty free. If you want one person to sing, you drop the picture in, and you got this woman will sing. So you load in your MIDI notes of what you want her to sing, and you click on the MIDI notes and type in what you want her to sing and hit play. And you have this professional singer singing the lyrics and the tune that you've just put in. With the
an AI version of her.
Yeah. So this woman never existed in the first place. But you have these different kinds of singers, and you can add as many as you want. So, like, for instance, there's one of the AI voices is for like doing cinematic. So, and if I want, I just have 80 of them, and then the male singers and stuff like that, and I got this huge choir, and then type in what I want them to sing and when they sing it, when they sing the particular words. There's a lot going on around this at the moment. A lot of controversy, which is there are some people that hire voice artists and or singers and musicians and sample them essentially to model them as AI, but they pay them a monthly stipend of some sort, or they pay them some sort of fee every time their stuff gets downloaded. Do we know what do you know, have you any idea whether or not that happens with this software? No, it's royalty free. There's no one to pay. These are AI generated voices.
AI generated voices, or but certainly voices have to be trained on someone.
No, AI has moved on quite a bit.
Yeah.
Right. There was no original person. It doesn't work like sampling. Put it that way, right? But what was interesting, and this was the key for me, which is why I got it, was with the violin. If I call up say a Spitfire Audio solo violin, right, and I play some sort of run or something like that on it, well, maybe they are, but you don't have to pay anything if you use them with this software. Because clearly, all right, somebody's been trained, and there's and there is an AI language there, and and now it's being used in this. So this is I'm going by what this has said. That's all. Okay, they're royalty free. You can download ones that are not royalty free. It's entirely up to you. But anyway, as I was saying, so you do a run with the violin with Spitfire Audio's library, and it doesn't matter how accurate the samples are and how well they're recorded and how many different types of bow strikes and stuff. You then have to go through it and do key switching and stuff like that, and put the right kind of motion of the bow on string to each note, depending on how the note has been spaced out, whether the note that when you do a second note, it's still on the same string, even though it's a different note, and stuff like that. Right, so there's all these CCs, key switches, and everything else you've got to do to what you've put in. In this thing, it analyzes it and does it all for you. And what plays back is the most accurate sounding solo violin I have ever heard on anything ever. And that's saying something.
So the
modeled on how it's played rather than the sound.
The question is, because I know, here's the thing, we know this stuff, and this is, we should probably cover this in a whole thing another time, but we know that the voices were trained on real people. My question isn't whether or not it costs you more because you're using it, it's whether or not they get recompense, because what we're talking about here is one of the downsides of AI, which is it's going to be taking away, or is it taking away work from...
Well, here's the thing, right? If you have an actual physical person and they use an AI on it, and that person trains that AI, right? You now have that algorithm, right? They get paid for it, fine. But that algorithm can be altered now elsewhere to sound like somebody else who doesn't exist. And then you have royalty-free singers.
So let's just come back, because that is a whole, whether or not AI is a good thing or a bad thing, and I have my own views about this. And
I'm in both camps nuanced as well. I'm both camps.
It's nuanced. But how much was this thing?
Do you know what? I don't know, because it was rent to buy.
and who's the company? What's the company? What's the site?
God, now you're asking. Bloody hell.
We'll stick it, if we can't remember. Well,
it was on the thingy, wasn't it? Let me quickly.
We can stick it. We can always stick it into the Facebook group.
Yeah.
So listen, we've got, look at that.
Might be Ace Audio AI, something like that.
Say again.
Ace Audio AI.
Ace Audio AI. Okay, well, we'll check on that. But listen, we're getting close to the... I don't know how we've managed to do it, but we've managed to get through 2 hours of blether and blather with me talking way
Come on,
much.
we've had a lot of practice.
We have a bit.
It's Ace Studio AI.
Ace Studio, that's it, thank you.
Ace Studio AI.
I'll just post it in there.
I think it was £22 a month over, was it 36 months or something?
Flipping heck. That's a lot of money.
It might not be 36 months. I can't remember.
Okay.
Come on, it was 3-4 hours ago.
Anyway.
Simon Greatbatch
Anyway.
said he's got SonarWorks Voice AI, which is a similar thing.
24
for
months.
£100.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this does an awful lot
More than
on
just
top
voice.
of. Yeah. It does a ton of stuff.
Talking of things that aren't AI, I just wanted to mention this before we finish the show. Talking of things that are very definitely older technology, guess who's got a new YouTube version of their show out this week, and it's ready for everyone to watch? It's only Benj and Meme Tune. It's got a new program out now. I had a quick look. I didn't get it at first when I first saw his things. I just thought, this is so terrible. Didn't get the joke, and I must have had a bad day or something. I love it. He's freaking brilliant. So that's now available to watch, which is going to be, if you haven't watched it already, go and watch Meme Tune. Look it up on YouTube. Log in, subscribe to his channel. He's freaking brilliant. I love what he does. We hopefully we'll get him.
Well, I did suggest Jim he changed the name to Catalogue of Keyboards Kent's Restored for me. Could literally everything.
Everything that he's got.
Everything's been done here.
So, Mr. Busy, talking of busyness, what else is coming up? So over the weekend, there's a whole bunch of things. Who's doing what over the weekend in terms of streaming? I know that you've got your show on Sunday night. Are you going to be doing that from your mum's garden again?
No, because my mum lives in North Wales and I live in the West Country. So I might do it from here, but it gets really dark really quickly, so I'd have to light up everything. So it gets a bit tricky, but maybe. And
the weather's not looking great, but we'll see. Fingers crossed. Who else? Yeah. So who's on tomorrow morning?
Is Reality tonight?
Sorry,
well, Popcorn Night. Symptoms of Reality. Popcorn Night tonight after this.
That's on tonight.
Yeah. Check that out.
Tomorrow morning, is it Synth?
Synchrotron.
10 o'clock.
10 a.m. Yeah. The best way to start the weekend. Get your chores done to the sound of Andy's drone. Always a good thing to do.
That's not very nice if you don't drone that much. So,
hang on, let's bring Kent back in.
Yeah. Yeah. And what else is on? Are you doing do you think you might be doing a pub tomorrow night or tomorrow at some point, Ken?
Possible, I do not know.
C'est possible. So what plans do we all have? Scott, what are you up to over the weekend, mate?
I've got somebody coming up tomorrow night for a studio night, so hopefully some music tomorrow night rather than head buried into synths making sounds. It will just be head buried into synths making music for a change. But yeah, apart from that, it'll probably be a few beers as well, I'd imagine. So Sunday might be a little bit of a write-off, but
we'll ring you at 7 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, that's what to do, and you might get the. What do you want,
Jason? Aside from your Sunday night regular, have you got anything planned for this weekend?
Well, my children go away for 2 weeks to Canada with their mum, so I'm going to miss them. So I'm going to spend the last remaining seconds of the weekend with them before jamming in Jim Jam. So family first. Always.
Family first. That sounds like a good thing. Ken, what are you up to?
Chapter 4. Oh,
Good.
I don't know.
Good.
I don't know.
You don't know.
Because now I can move about without crippling pain and stuff like that. It's sort of like I really don't know what to do myself.
Just to let you know, Kent, your £22 a month rent to own is billed yearly. So how is it? It's not $22 a month, then, is it? If it's billed yearly.
Now you tell me.
And is it a renewable? Is it an automatically renewable subscription every 12 months?
Well, it's billed yearly rent for 2 years to own, so I don't understand how the hell they're saying it's £22 a month. You must have to just pay the 12 instalments of $22 at the start of the year and then the next year. So it's basically 22 times 12 twice you have to pay.
Sometime this year we'll see Kent and Fiona in a tent when the house has had to be sold to pay for all the subscriptions. So we'll
get to that well before then.
Well, yeah, we look forward to that. And I've got a pal coming over tomorrow. I've got some multi-tracks of stuff we did years ago that we're going to start ferreting through and sort of updating and doing some things with for a project we hope to have coming up. And
Nice.
I'll be watching, if you're doing a pub, I'll be watching you, and I'll be watching some F1. And I've got some more sound design to do this weekend, so I need to get my finger out and get on with that. And that, I think...
Jamie's back on again on Sunday as well, by the way.
Yeah.
Jamie
Oh, is he?
So, Synth.
What
yeah,
time?
Yeah, so he's
10 o'clock?
Usually 6 p.m.
6
And he
p.m.
streams for 2 hours. There's plenty of time between to grab a bite to eat before jamming in gym jams.
Good stuff. Well, I think, we've gone slightly over, but we were slightly late starting. So I think, guess what, gents?
All good.
I think that's a show. I think that's actually a show. So I suppose we could just end, couldn't we? I need to find the right thingy to press. Oh, there we go. So I think I'm just going to say goodbye to everyone. Thank you for watching. Hope you have a great weekend out there, PSNers. Thank you for joining us today. Don't forget, like, subscribe, share around, let everyone know we're here.
Spread the love.
Share the love. And I hope you have a fantastic weekend. And on that note, I don't want to press end stream. I want to press outro. And here we go. 3, 2, bye.